Get ready for a clash of titans in the world of Formula One as the battle for the coveted second seat at Red Bull heats up. In a surprising turn of events, Daniel Ricciardo has joined forces with AlphaTauri, aiming to oust Sergio Perez from his position. But Ricciardo's path to victory won't be an easy one, as he faces fierce competition from two of the grid's most formidable drivers, Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. Rumours are swirling that Leclerc and Norris could be in talks to join forces with Max Verstappen, forming a powerhouse duo that could send shockwaves through the sport. With Red Bull eyeing a future lineup of very competitive drivers, tensions are running high and Verstappen may not be thrilled with the prospect of sharing the spotlight, as the 2026 regulations loom on the horizon. Threatening to shake up the established order, Ricciardo's carefully crafted plan hangs in the balance. The stakes have never been higher as Red Bull's owners and Liberty Media take center stage in the mission to secure the ultimate competitive driver for the team. Will Ricciardo's dreams be dashed, or will he emerge victorious in this high-stakes battle for the second seat? Daniel Ricciardo's performance during his test at Silverstone left a significant impact, prompting Red Bull to make a bold move. They decided to replace Nick de Vries with Ricciardo at AlphaTauri. Red Bull expressed their desire to assess Ricciardo's true potential by allowing him to drive the RB19 on the Silverstone track, as he had been limited to simulator work on the current package until then. This decision set off a series of events, resulting in the first driver dismissal of the 2023 Formula One season. When considering the other major headline, it raises questions about whether Red Bull is already strategizing for the long term in terms of their driver options. A simple Pirelli tyre test has completely reshaped the situation at Red Bull. The purpose of Ricciardo's outing was not just to assist Pirelli but also to prove his skills on the track. He showed his determination by pushing the limits, even though he had a spin during the day, luckily without any damage. Ricciardo's outstanding performance in the simulator translated into an impressive display on the actual track. As a result, de Vries, who had participated in only 10 races and failed to score any points, lost his seat at Red Bull's sister team, AlphaTauri. Ricciardo will now join the AlphaTauri team for the Hungarian Grand Prix, borrowing him from Red Bull until the season's end. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner expressed his delight, saying, "It's fantastic to see that Daniel hasn't lost his form during his time away from racing. His progress in the simulator sessions has clearly paid off on the track. He performed exceptionally well during the tyre test, and we're eagerly looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season unfolds for Daniel while he is on loan at Scuderia AlphaTauri." During the test, Ricciardo's lap times were so impressive that Red Bull team principal Horner described them as extremely competitive. According to Formula One reporter Lawrence Barretto, Ricciardo's time during the test was reportedly fast enough to secure a spot in the front row of the 2023 British Grand Prix. However, it's important to note that this was not actually the British Grand Prix. Therefore, there might have been another significant factor contributing to Ricciardo's exceptional performance. Could the Ricciardo-de Vries swap at Red Bull be just the beginning of a larger shake-up? According to rumours, Sergio Perez, who is currently struggling as Max Verstappen's teammate at the RB19, may now face the looming threat of Ricciardo. However, it appears that Ricciardo is not the only potential contender. Red Bull team principal Horner and advisor Helmut Marko have been openly praising their former driver Alex Albon. Interestingly, Marko has also extended his praise to McLaren's talented driver Lando Norris. It's worth noting that Red Bull has previously shown interest in signing Norris. Marko stated, "Norris has a contract with McLaren until 2025, but he's undoubtedly the strongest among the young drivers. His youthful nature would also make him well suited for Red Bull." According to Martin Brundle, a former racer and current Sky F1 pundit, British motorsport is in capable hands with young talents like George Russell and Lando Norris. These two drivers are often seen as potential future world champions if they have the right cars. However, Brundle wants to emphasise that there is another British driver who shouldn't be underestimated. The driver is Lewis Hamilton, Russell's teammate at Mercedes and a legendary figure in the Formula One with 7 world championships. During a gathering of his former Tyrrell team, Brundle expressed his thoughts to PlanetF1.com, saying, "The UK has many excellent racing circuits and talented young drivers like Lando and George. However, Lewis Hamilton is still right there with them, showing his remarkable skills." Despite having a fast car, the Mexican driver Perez has struggled to make it into the top qualifying session several times this year. On the other hand, his teammate Max Verstappen has been performing exceptionally well, securing his 6th consecutive victory at the 2023 F1 British Grand Prix. At the same race, Lando Norris finished behind Verstappen in an upgraded McLaren, which proved to be ahead of other competitors. Red Bull advisor Marco believes that Norris would be the ideal teammate for Verstappen, who is currently dominating the sport. Unfortunately, Norris is committed to McLaren until 2025, disappointing both fans and teams. Verstappen is one of the drivers who have caused the least amount of damage to their cars in crashes this year. The driver with the lowest damage expenditure is currently Zhou Guanyu, who has had 0 damages so far. Verstappen has been involved in only one incident this year, a collision with George Russell during the sprint race in Baku. This has resulted in relatively low repair costs. Verstappen's dominance on the track has helped him avoid crashes, as he often starts at the front of the grid. Additionally, his precise control of the car has given him an advantage over his competitors. The two-time world champion had a mishap during qualifying at the British Grand Prix when he understeered into the wall in the pit lane, damaging his front wing. However, despite the incident, he managed to win the race from the pole position without getting involved in any collisions during the fast sections of the track. Max Verstappen's performance is currently displaying an exceptional level of dominance that only a few drivers have achieved. His outstanding form has enabled Red Bull to win every race this season, granting the team a significant advantage in both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships, while the plan remains for Ricciardo to perform well and potentially secure the Red Bull seat in 2024 or 2025 if he outperforms Tsunoda and gets the team on the right track. Red Bull is keeping their options open. The team is aware that a lot is at stake in this situation. Leclerc has mentioned having discussions with Ferrari regarding his contract, but nothing has been formally announced or confirmed. He clarified that there haven't been any serious developments in that regard. To be honest, it's not really on my mind yet, signing a new contract. When I say we slowly started talking about it, it's just here and there, but nothing special, nothing specific. I love Ferrari, so I'm happy here. Of course, the team and I are not happy with where we are at the moment, but I think we're all working in the right direction. Leclerc may not be pleased with how his team at Ferrari consistently make mistakes, causing him to drop from P4 to P9 due to poor management and strategy. Considering this, he might contemplate leaving Ferrari if a spot opens up at Red Bull. The truth is that Red Bull's overall philosophy is currently undergoing significant changes. In addition to Leclerc, as we mentioned before, Helmut Marko has praised Lando Norris for his speed and mentioned him as a potential successor for the Red Bull seat once his contract with McLaren expires in 2025. It would be an incredibly competitive pairing, and if Red Bull continues to dominate until 2026, unless something drastically changes, it would be one of the biggest storylines in Formula 1. However, the sport's owners, Liberty Media, are not interested in having one driver dominate week after week. That's why they've encouraged Red Bull to pursue a direction where they have two strong drivers, similar to the 2016 season when Rosberg and Hamilton fought for the championship as teammates. While the popularity of F1 has increased significantly, there is a decrease in interest due to the repetitive dominance of Verstappen. This is not to diminish Verstappen's achievements as a two-time world champion, as he's been exceptional in the car. However, the struggles of Perez, who has failed to reach Q3 for 5 consecutive weekends and has missed a point in every race during this period, don't bode well with the sport's revenue and the popularity that Liberty Media has been working hard to cultivate in the recent years. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.